Right here we have a 2008 KME. This carries 750 gallons. It's also our rescue, so we call it an engine rescue. So not only does it put out fires, but it also cuts people out of their cars and runs vehicle accidents.
Next to that over here we have a
2014 tanker. This truck carries 2,000 gallons on it, and it also can pump just like the engine can to fight a house fire also.
But this is a KME also, right?
Yep, that's
and
correct.
you can dump off the side, back, everywhere.
Yep, we have 3 sides. We can dump off both sides. In the back, we can dump water into the porta pond.
You're right.
And it also carries a porta pond that we unload and fill it with our first load of water.
And because you really only have 2 major vehicles as far as engines, you're going to start making this into a backup rescue, is that right?
We have plans. We got a grant. We're just waiting for the money to put some rescue tools on this and reconfigure the compartments a little bit. We got a lot of wasted space, so we're going to utilize that space a little bit more.
Okay. Very pretty trucks here. You have a lot of variety of calls out here because you have the Appalachian Trail, you have the river down there, you have a freeway, you have very specialized vehicles, and this is one of them.
This is a utility truck, so we use this to tow our 2 boats and sometimes our UTV trailer, and also we use it for traffic control. We have a John boat right here. This was the very first boat we ever owned. We never owned an inflatable boat at one point. We bought this when the river started getting real busy. The inflatable we got a couple years ago, the river has a lot of rocks on it. Sometimes it's hard to get the John boat up through there.
Okay.
So we can kind of get around the rocks a little bit easier with an inflatable boat.
Right, and you're running sometimes 10 calls a year on the river up to?
It could be 10 calls up to 20 calls.
You also have a UTV out here.
Yeah.
This one's pretty unique because this is the first time I've seen it set up as a brush truck and an EMS kind of unit.
Yeah, this was a work in progress. This is something we should have had years ago, but we got this about 5 years ago. We bought it and we're like, well, we got we got mountain fires and we got mountain rescues. So what we did was we put a 75-gallon tank on it with a pump and a hose reel, but also we had an area to put a Stokes basket on it. So when we go up, we have a lot of walking trails. We got Appalachian Trail.
Right.
So if we get a lot of twisted ankles, broken legs, so we load them up on this, and it's just an easier way than walking them out.
Right. What year is this and what kind is it?
This is a Kawasaki 4x4, and this was bought 5 years ago.
Okay, and the utility is what?
Utility is a 2016 Chevy 2500.
Okay, and you have another pretty cool one. This one's your TAC.
The front of this truck has it's called a turret on the front of it.
Okay.
So if we get a little grass fire along the highway, or if we get a field fire, we can actually pump and roll with this. So we get out, the driver gets out, fires up the pump, puts it in pump gear, and we can get inside and we have a joystick. So we can just drive along the fire and put it out without pulling off our hose.
Right, or you getting out and potentially getting into dangerous spots. You can fight it right off the truck.
That's correct.
That's awesome to have. You don't see that too here on the East Coast.
And it's good if we ever get the field fire out, we can drive out across there, put it on fog stream, and just kind of wet everything down and make sure everything's 100% put out.